Welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We're at the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. Let's check it out. Well, we were able to stop at the Wright Patterson Air Force Base to visit the United States Air Force Museum. It's located in Dayton, Ohio, and it's probably the best run museum I've been to. It's free, so the price is right, and there's plenty of parking. So if you're dragging your camper behind you and you're in a Class A or a Class C with a car behind you, there's plenty of parking, so don't be afraid to stop if you're hitched up. But I would suggest, early so that you get a good parking spot. We did see rigs there when we visited. When you enter the museum, there's a host of concierges there, and they're going to help you, figure out and see exactly what you want to see. So for me, it was the SR-71. It's my favorite military aircraft, and I definitely want to see that. This museum is made up of 4 hangars. And they're rather large. So if you're, if you have trouble walking or have some type of a limitation on the amount of time or endurance you can walk, they have available ADA assisted devices. So they have scooters available, and walkers and wheelchairs, that kind of stuff, and all that stuff is free to use, so there's no charge for that. So that'll give you the opportunity to see the entire museum, even if you have limited mobility. If I videotaped every item that was in this museum, this video would be 80 hours long. So I selected pieces that were of interest to me, and I hope it gives you an idea of what's available when you're planning your trip to the museum. As I have said, this museum is made up of 4 hangars, and the first hangar that you enter has the early years of flight on one side, and then World War I and then World War II on the other side. So you get to see the progression of aircraft throughout that time period. The second hangar really has Korea and Vietnam, Southeast Asia, in that hangar. And then in the third hangar, the most memorable piece in there for me is the SR-71 Blackbird. That plane can go just under 2,200 miles an hour. I find it a fascinating aircraft, and the way it was constructed and built through the Skunk Works is really interesting. And then in the fourth hangar, there's some experimental stuff and also the presidential gallery. So you get to see some of the aircraft utilized by a host of presidents from years past. So I found that really interesting, and we did go through one of those planes so you could see it. If you're considering a trip out to the United States Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, I would strongly suggest that you stay at the Dayton KOA in Brookville, Ohio. This campground was about 15 minutes or so from the museum and has a host of amenities to entertain you, in between your visits over to the museum and the surrounding area. So when you enter the museum, they have concierges available to help you figure out where you want to go and what you want to see. The big thing I want to see is the SR-71 in the Cold War.
Back here in the third building, so we're right up here front. The third building right back here, it's Cold War current operations, so we do have one back there. We even have a YF-12 over in research and development. Those things are pretty awesome to see too.
So you can see they got strollers and wheelchairs available, and they also have the mobile electric carts available. First, the early years. Here is the original fabric from the Wright Brothers flying machine when they first started working on it. So that's an original piece. This is the first military flyer.
Okay.
They built it, right?
Right.
42 miles an hour. It could go 1 hour. A 30 horsepower engine.
Wow. No wheels though. Kind of
No, it
landed
came
like
on a
slow.
rail, and then that was a hard landing.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good right
Here
there.
we thought that we just invented that. Boy, that was back in 1917.
Invented in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, in Dayton, Ohio.
So after you do the early years in World War I, in hangar number 1, right across from it, is the World War II stuff. This is the B-18A bomber. Years ago in an accounting class, I had a World War II vet in the class, and this is the bomber that he was on. There's the Liberator, B-24 Liberator. Bomb Bay. Here is this famous Wright 1820 radial engine. Here's the Mustang. Here is the B-26 Marauder. Here you can see them getting ready. Drop the bomb. That's the bomb site right there. This is what they were dropping. Here's the P-51. B-29 Super Fortress. There it is. Catalina 0810. There you go, Jim Mart. 46. You can see they got a Jeep up in there. Hangar number 1 is early flight World War I and World War II. Hangar number 2 is Southeast Asia, Vietnam, and the Korean War. So I'm going to start on the Korean side. And my wife Marie's father served during the Korean War. I'm going to go inside the 124 Globemaster.
A little less comfortable in their seats of today, but they have more leg room.
That's true.
You know, for that idea.
That's true. There's the motor. Carry a lot of cargo in here. Wow. What do you think, Al? A big plane. Yeah. You can put Jeeps and gear and everything else in here.
The track all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably put it in here. Very interesting. You can see how big that Globemaster is. Big fat wings to create lots of lift. Got a radial engine in that thing. F-105. Get the tail bar, the tail on this plane. I used to teach a case study on management, and one of the case studies dealt with the Skunk Works, the Lockheed Skunk Works, and it was when they were building the SR-71, which is my all-time favorite military aircraft, and here it is. This is the nose piece right there. It's on there. (2,193 miles per hour on this plane. Just a crew of 2. In addition to being a fighter pilot, he developed the famous barbecue ham sauce.
Can a 6'7" guy fit in there?
I think you could. Oh, is there?
18 inches between my foot. I can't even.
Get ready, Tim. Put your harness on.
Wow.
In the cockpit today, Gene Ham. Gene Ham is flying by instruments.
Sit regular. I'm gonna take one where you normally sit.
She's flying by instruments and she can't see over the panel.
Nope. Wasn't meant for little people.
Another one of my favorites, the 810 Warthog. You can see this is a tank destroyer. And this has the cool tail. Here you can see the tail on the A-10. Now this is built near us. Osprey. I think my niece's husband works on these. And here you can see the rotors up to take off, and then they move forward to fly forward. Of course, there is the stealthy bomber. B-2 bomber. This is over in the experimental area, and they do have the YF-23 in here, so I'll take a video of that for you. The museum does have a presidential section which has planes used by the president. It's called the Presidential Gallery. There's Roosevelt. Eisenhower was also a pilot, so when he would be flying on this, he would often take the controls and fly the plane. Enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. So ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up, that helps too. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Thanks for watching.